All right. Ahead of
Charge!
us. Well, okay, not the most informative way, but yes, ahead of us, enemy foothold.
This is an earth foothold.
Indeed, as it's, you can probably tell.
And we sort of out-level this one a bit, so we're just going to charge in, guns blazing, and clear it.
That's basically how you do all footholds, though.
Indeed, footholds, for those of you who don't know that much about Rift, footholds are the result of, if you don't defeat enemy invaders, they will basically set up a camp, from which they will basically then send forth more invaders if you don't clear the camp out.
We defeated
So,
it.
yes, that one was quite a weak one. It hadn't really spawned many.
As you can see on
troops.
the underneath the minimap, you can actually get your loot there, because when you do damage to mobs or tank them or whatever, or even healing, it will all count towards your contribution points, and with contribution points you will
Even healing, he says.
even healing indeed.
As if it's not there.
Contributions, you can actually get Planarite currency.
So this is an actual rift proper. This is a death rift.
With lots of evil, deathly tentacles trying to...
It's Cthulhu is trying to enter the world, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's death is one of the, I think it's one of the more common ones, isn't it?
Yeah, the forces of death,
But
for Defiance
the fire
anyway.
side, it is, yes.
Yes, I think the Guardians have more trouble with the plane of fire than the planes of life.
So again, we slightly out-level this one, so we're just going to basically clear it as quickly as possible.
Yes.
Yeah.
Each rift has a certain number of stages. Usually, well, so far, there's about 3 normal stages, and then if you clear the last stage quickly enough, you get bonus stages.
And
Yeah,
there's
the bonus-
to
the
get
bonus-
more loot.
up to 3 bonus stages.
Yeah.
So
The bonus
far.
stages are referred to as unstable stages of the Rift, and they basically up the difficulty, but they also give you access to better
Quite
levels of loot.
significantly, I might add.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can usually solo a rift of your own level by yourself if you're a little careful, but if you get to the bonus stages, you'll start having trouble.
Indeed. The way the loot system works for Rifts is that in each stage, you'll probably notice the little coloured bar going up and down. You get awarded a rank, either gold, silver, bronze, and that awards you a certain number of points. And at the end, when the entire rift is closed, the number of points you have decides what loot table you get to roll on. So obviously, if you don't get to the bonus stages at all, you're severely restricted in how high up the loot table list you can go.
Yeah. So we're on the first of the bonus stages now, and you can see we've got a timer on our little rift bar,
Yeah, over here.
telling us how long we've got to clear it if we want the next bonus stage.
Which we hopefully will get, because it's...
Yeah,
the first
minor
one is
rift
actually
that we have
quite...
leveled.
Yeah, there are 2 types of rifts, by the way. Early on there were 2 types. There's minor rifts, which are the first stages, as we said, are soloable, and the later stages you can probably do with 2 or 3 players. You also get major rifts, which you can clear the first few stages with 2 to 3 players, but then the final stages of a major rift will take a full formed group.
So this will be the last stage of this rift now, and we get an elite mob shown by the spikes around his portrait.
Yep, over here.
And he hits quite a lot harder, has a lot of hit points, and is definitely not soloable. Even when we're sort of, 4 or 5 levels above the actual level of the rift, you still wouldn't be able to solo this unless you were particularly skillful.
Indeed, I'm
Rift,
actually being forced to actually specifically concentrate on healing. I'm not being able to DPS at all on that final one.
There we go, Rift sealed. Levels in Rift actually don't matter all that much. As you can see, Fellhammer is level 26 and Punisher and Flarers are level 28. Unlike World of Warcraft, where levels actually grant you immense power, this game doesn't seem to do it like that. The levels don't really mean all that much.
There is a lot less power creep in this game, in that a staff at level 40 has double the stats of a staff at level 20. So rather than scaling exponentially like in some games, it follows kind of a linear amount of power gain. So
There's
that
another
therefore,
Earth foothold. Should we kill that?
Yeah, let's go.
let's take them out.
So usually Earth footholds are only one stage, and they're only, footholds in general, are only one stage, and they're usually only protected by weak creatures.
The exception to the rule is if there's actually an event going on in the zone, there may be footholds which are where the boss spawns or which are protected by elite mobs, so you cannot defeat the foothold until the elite mobs defending it are dead.
And as you can
But
see
at the
here,
moment-
there's actually a mob helping us with this foothold.
Yep.
Indeed. As I think we've mentioned before, maybe we haven't, but all the mobs in the game have a very specific faction, and they will attack other NPCs dependent on that faction. So if you get invaders from the plane of, say, death run against the invaders from the plane of earth, they will actually stop and start pummeling each other, which can be quite useful in that it can enable you to take them both down if you're clever and you happen to run across two of them fighting it out.
I'm not quite sure if you mentioned it, but the world is littered with something that are called artifacts. I just picked one up called a flat pick, and I wonder if any one of you need it for
Yes,
your
I need
collection.
I probably do. Should we head the other direction and get some more of the high level
Yeah, let's get some level appropriate ones.
Let's do that.
Right, Flares and Fel, roll for it, and we'll see who gets the flat pick then.
Flowers can take it. I'm not that.
Okay,
Okay, here we go for a more level appropriate rift.
you're doing it
This
wrong.
one's 26, level 26.
Yeah, it's only a minor one though, so being that we've got four
Should
players,
still be easy for us.
yes.
Yep.
Unfortunately, there don't seem to be any majors open at the moment. Yes, the rift spawn rate is determined by how many people are actually in the zone, so you don't need to worry about being overwhelmed by them if you're say like playing on a server with low pop. But at the same time, you also don't need to worry about them being too rare on a server which is full of people, because it will scale to compensate.
I might need some healing. Thank you.
I just healed you.
Yeah, these guys actually hit relatively hard.
Another awesome thing of these rifts is that people actually come together to close them. Because again, if you don't, invasion will eventually happen, and then they might actually take over your entire zone, leaving you without quest givers.
If you're playing on a PvP server, which is effectively hardcore rules, the mobs and other players can actually destroy your towns until you recapture them. Although there are some rules in place to stop griefing of low-level zones. For instance, you cannot capture enemy bases in their level 1 to 15 zone.
Trust me, we tried.
NPCs can.
So can you capture them in other zones then?
Yes, you can actually. In contested zones, you can catch them.
There's definitely one type of
capture
ward stone, which there are neutral ward stones out there, which you get daily quests from at high level, etc.
So as you guys could probably see, this is being slightly higher level, this one is a bit harder for us.
Yeah, we might have to actually focus.
I might go into tanking spec if we get to the elite mob.
Yeah.
Yeah, you might want to do that.
Yep.
Well, these mobs are no joke. They've got almost 5,000 hit points each.
Luckily in this game, the only requirement for changing spec is to be out of combat, so it's actually relatively easy to change specs.
And it doesn't drain your mana to zero like World of Warcraft.
And it only takes a second or two to cast. So
Where are you going? Oh yeah, this guy.
He's healing himself with the crystals, so we can just blow that up. There we go.
He's
Here we
immune to damage while he
go.
heals.
Oh yeah, he actually stacks a buff up on himself the longer that the crystals stay alive.
So we should kill them.
Yeah.
So this guy's actually a pain in the arse.
Yeah, he is quite. But luckily we got some help from a friendly nearby mob though.
Indeed. A lizardman randomly kind of help us out. There we go, we get our bonus stage.
Yep. Always fun.
I don't like these
So
guys.
this will be a little bit harder again.
Ouch.
On stage 4 generally the actual difficulty is completing it within the time limit. Stage 5 is where you get a big
It'll
bomb
test your
thrown at you.
abilities.
Don't die on us now.
Sorry,
We need you, man.
are we needing that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh!
My heal was not enough.
Can you rest me, please?
I'll try and res you before we get the thingy then.
Yeah.
Oh shit, I need to change my tanking spec. You guys finish clearing. I'll check.
These mobs are hitting me for 208 damage each.
Guys, I can soul walk if needed.
Don't use
So
that
I've
yet.
got it.
Soul walking has
I'm
a
out of
60
combat, so I can
minute
res
cooldown.
you.
What did you
So
say about
what is-
soul walking?
It has a 60-minute cooldown, thus it should only be used in emergencies. If there's someone alive who can
Thank
res
you,
you,
Phil.
use the res.
Thank you, Vel.
So I just got Tamriel back up using... one of the benefits of being a paladin is you can still res people.
Even though you're a tanking class. And a warrior.
Yes, paladins are specifically a tanking class in this one. Right, I'm in my tanking spec now, so this
Here we
could
go.
hurt. Oh my god.
Almost
He's quite big.
10,000 hit points. And yes, this boss, he does a stone skin effect where he heals himself, but you've basically got to break his barrier to stop him healing. He does remain invulnerable for the rest of the duration, but it stops him healing himself. So when he does that, blow all your DPS on him. Ooh, that hurt.
So these guys are almost like mini sort of
Right, here he
bosses.
goes again. He's healing himself up, but we've broken the bubble, so he doesn't heal more than 15%.
What was that,
And we should be able to take
Phil?
him.
I was just saying these guys are almost like mini raid bosses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They hit quite
Apparently,
hard.
the first 10 man's raids in this game is actually just basically opening up a rift.
Yes, although apparently they're implementing some more in the coming patch.
We
So
killed him.
oh, there we go.
Look, we got not that much, because I was dead half the time.
Well, you should actually wait for the bubble of light to hit you, so you've got your full loot set.